Okay, so I have a little review here on evolution. Okay, evolution is one of the first units we talked about this entire school year. Remember, evolution is how a population changes slowly through time. And evolution is tied directly to genetics, okay? Because we have to see how the genes, how the genotypes, and then the phenotypes are changing, and that shows us and gives us evidence how a population has changed through time. So you see the sentence there, it says the change of a species through time is caused by many events and is seen in the genotypes and the phenotypes seen in a population. A few terms that you need to know. First one is called the gene pool. Gene pool is all of the genes present in a population. If you think of our classroom, we have brown hair, black hair, blue eyes, blonde hair, brown eyes, tall, short, male, female. I can go on and on of all the different genes we have in a population. If I put them all into one big pool, that would be our gene pool. Okay, so all of the genes present. The other part of that is the variation. The more variation you have in your gene pool, the better the chance a population will have of surviving and evolving and adapting to changes in that environment or the pressures that they're facing. Okay, so that sentence right there on the third bullet says variations allow evolution to occur because it provides more opportunities for those things to occur. Another term is allele frequency. Allele frequency, there's a really good sheet which you can do in your packet, this sheet here. But basically, allele frequency says that it shows how much an allele or a gene is being shown in the population. I have a great lab for this where we take these beans and we have bunnies and some bunnies die and so on and so forth that allow us to calculate allele frequency. Unfortunately, we can't do that now. But anyway, allele frequency, I can give a percentage, I can give a fraction for how much an allele is popping up. Easy example, I have 1,000 people in a population, 500 have blue eyes. Okay, so what is the allele frequency of blue eyes? Well, it's 500 divided by 1,000 or 50%. Okay, that would be the allele frequency of blue eyes. So as the allele frequency changes, that is evidence that the population is changing, and evolving through time. Now, what causes allele frequency to change? Well, I have a few things, a couple we've talked about before. First one is called natural selection. If you remember, that's survival of the fittest. The strong individuals are able to survive. They're able to reproduce and pass on those good traits to their offspring. Remember, having a high level of fitness is called, are those organisms that are able to survive and reproduce. Gene flow. Gene flow is migration. Okay, an organism migrates into or migrates out of a population, they bring their genes with them, one way or the other. So that adds to the gene pool, and that can in turn change the allele frequency in a population. Third one is genetic drift. I'm going to come back to genetic drift because that's going to take a little bit more time, so I'm going to put it on a separate video. Last one is another one we've talked about, mutations. Remember, mutations can be good, they can be bad. But either way, they will change the allele frequency. If a mutation is good, then it's going to lead to higher fitness of an individual. That individual can reproduce and will probably pass on that mutation. So that can change the allele frequency in the population. And remember, those mutations are random, and they can cause good changes in a population and in the allele frequency. Okay. Last one, like I said, is genetic drift, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute.